to the podcast with us, your hosts, to go on to a next topic, which is something that I've watched in my high school years.
Yes, if the opening didn't give it away, we were talking about Avatar, not the movie by Mr. Cameron, but
no, not the furry blue people.
No, but Avatar: The Last Airbender in this case, but more specifically the sequel series, Avatar: The Legend of Korra.
We'd like to issue a spoiler warning because the show is still pretty new. If you haven't watched it yet, then if you're at all interested, maybe go watch it, then listen to this, or just stop this until you want to listen to it. Whatever's going on.
Yes, this shall be a review of the first 2 episodes, as well as predictions and our opinion of how it is that they made a good move with deciding to release the episodes early. Which is what we should start with overall.
Let's go start with the first episode.
Well, no, with the fact that it's a good move that they released the episodes early.
Yeah.
The official TV airing date is April 12th, which will be a 1-hour premiere on Nickelodeon, showing the first 2 episodes. Mind you, by that time, all fans of the show will probably have seen it already online.
And the beautiful thing is, lots of those fans will probably still be tuning in to make sure to watch it when it airs on TV.
Yes.
Because it's a historic moment.
That, and it's going to be in high definition, which I do not believe the online episodes have been released in HD.
No. No.
No. So onto the actual episodes themselves. Let's start with episode 1. Welcome to Republic City.
So we start off with the backstory of the previous story.
Yes, which is essentially the opening to the show, where Tenzin, Aang's son, which you figure out into the first episode, gives the narration in this case, explaining, of course, what fans of the show should know, where Aang, the Avatar, worked with Fire Lord Zuko to stop Ozai, and together they created the Republic, which is a combination of Fire Nation, Earth Nation, Water Nation tribes, all together in one new nation, and as a combination, and all governed by one central city referred to as Republic City, which, if you take a look at it, is a lot like New York.
Yeah.
And I should also state that it's not just for the earth, fire, and water benders, but also for people who are not benders at all.
Yes, which
that's
becomes
a key point.
Very important in the series, with especially the anti-benders, which are going to be introduced as time goes on.
Yes. Second episode of it.
And this is not a Futurama reference where you have Bender with a tiny goatee. That's totally different.
No, but there is a very funny small comic that shows Bender and the Avatar gang. I've seen it. Have you?
Yeah. I have not.
Oh, it's essentially they go into a bar and Bender's sitting there and they ask, so we hear you're a bender, and Bender's just smoking a cigar saying, yeah, I'm the best damn bender around. I'll teach you to bend anything you want.
So,
and now they have metal benders.
Anyways, yes, but metal benders were around with Toph in the first series.
So
yes, welcome to Republic City. The first episode begins with an introduction to the new Avatar, Korra. A little spitfire of a thing that learned that she was the Avatar at the tender age of 4.
First thing that was hilarious.
When they find her at the age of 4, she's already well aware that she's the Avatar.
Yes, well, her first lines in the show are,
I'm the Avatar! Boom!
Crashing through a wall, bending shit all over the place.
Yes. Well, only 3 elements.
Yes.
Water, earth, and fire. Which, by the age of 16, she has mastered all 3 as determined by her teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Which is where the series officially starts.
Now, before you go on, you get to have somewhat of... You start to get some of the nostalgia because some of the old characters start to come back. Well, one of them does.
One, yes. The only surviving member of Team Avatar is Katara, who looks remarkably like her grandmother.
Oh.
And it's played by the same voice actress.
As also, in the first episode, you also get the introduction of finally the official introduction of Tenzin, which is Aang and Kasara's son.
Yes, a master airbender who shall be the airbending teacher of Korra, the new avatar.
Now,
Harvey, anytime you want to chime in.
When they introduce him, they introduce his kids, and I love his kids. They're the most misfit kind of troublesome
They are
kids.
batshit insane.
Yes.
And the little boy is ugly as sin.
But he's hilarious.
Oh, he totally is.
Yes. They have done an excellent job with these kids. Like, you feel that these really are kids, and like, Tenzin is up to his ears and bullshit with them.
And he's about to have a fourth.
Yes. A teenager! Oh, God, no!
And his wife is pregnant.
Yeah, his wife is pregnant. That's what I meant by a fourth.
This is sounding kind of like a sitcom, actually.
Yeah, it is. Now, his wife, however, is not...
Well, first let's talk about the characters that are the core of them. So right now, the main characters we can confirm are Korra and Tenzin.
Yes.
What's so funny, Harvey?
If this were a sitcom, it would be called There's Something in the Air. Proceed.
Oh, God, yes. Alright, so let's start with Korra, our spunky new avatar for the show. What do you guys think of her?
I think she's so far a pretty strong, solid character. I'm liking her.
I like her for the fact that her character is not
at all like Aang.
No, it is not. She's more of the let's rush everything through, let's get everything done ahead of time.
Well,
She's
Aang,
headstrong.
Yes.
Aang rushed things, but he thought things through beforehand.
Like, she's not a thinker, she's a doer.
Yeah, like she's completely mastered the physical side of bending, while Aang,
He's very spiritual.
he had spiritual maxed out, especially once he got his mojo going after dealing with that panda thing in that village.
The panda thing.
Yes.
It always comes back to a panda.
Yes, it's weird. But yeah, so Aang had the spiritual side going for him, but not so much the physical side. He was afraid of the ramifications of the physical side when it came to things like earthbending, which he had a hard time mastering, and firebending, which he was afraid of.
Now, we'll get to what Korra's issue is going to be later.
Yeah. But yeah, she's a headstrong young girl that's confident in her abilities, confident in herself, and just wants to be the best that she can be, and wants to prove herself to the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's a peacetime avatar, but that's gonna change real soon.
Now, as for Tenzin, he's
the last person you expect to be Aang's son. Let's just say that.
Well, we haven't heard about his siblings yet.
Yeah, we may see them later on, but
they
are
Tenzin
Kaya
is
and
very, very serious, high strung,
yeah.
And I love his expressions.
He's
Really,
he's a traditionalist, but the way they've animated him, just his face just tells you what's going on in his head right away.
They have amazing work on his expressions.
Yeah, like just his eyebrows alone.
They have the twitch down pat.
Yeah, like they really need to throw the twitch in more often.
Now,
but yes, he's like the serious type. Like he
is the airbender teacher.
Yes, the only airbending master in the world, which means that Aang's other kids are either waterbenders or non-benders, or they just really suck at airbending.
It hasn't been confirmed yet.
We will find out hopefully later on. I mean, I'm sure there's going to throw a family reunion in once the baby's born.
Yes. As for so with Tenzin, he's at first you think him and Korra have a very nice relationship. That's gonna change later on.
Well, they have a good relationship still, but
their dynamic will change.
Their dynamic is different, yeah.
The way they will interact with each other is going to be different.
Like, it's obvious he cares about her and her well-being, But he has no way of knowing how to deal with a teenager. Especially a rebellious one.
Also, he is just like the other masters who want to keep this type of bird still in the cage.
Yes. That's the thing about Korra. Unlike Aang, she has as of yet not traveled the world, so she knows very little of it. Just what probably she has heard from word of mouth and probably read from books.
Now,
going on to the heart of the matter.
Tenzin, we now, during that story, back to it,
we find out that there's something going on in Republic City that requires Tenzin to stay there, so he cannot come to the South Pole to teach Korra how to airbend, which is the final element she must learn, and the one she is having trouble with. So
Korra figures out in her mind that
if Tenzin can't come to me, I come to Tenzin.
Exactly. By the way, before we go into that, we forgot to mention this series animal.
Yes, the animal companion of Korra is the polar bear dog. I forget his name.
Yes.
I don't remember it either, but...
They didn't mention it too much, unfortunately. I think maybe like 3 times.
Yeah.
It has yet to have very memorable funny moments, but when it does have the funny moments... It's very enjoyable.
Yeah, you can tell that this thing's got a big personality that's just waiting to come out.
Just like Appa did, just like Momo.
Yes. We are yet to see if we get our own Momo for the show. I'm kind of thinking that the little boy might be the Momo of the show.
That may end up working out, I think.
So...
Yes, continuing on, So
Korra... No. Katara finds Korra.
As she's about to escape, and just gives her blessing and says that she understands that she has to go and see the world. So Korra says goodbye to her parents, sneaks onto a boat, which I still don't understand why she couldn't just say, "Hi, I'm the Avatar. Can you give me a ride?"
Again, if the other masters were to find out, it's the whole bird in the cage issue.
Yeah, but still. So she sneaks away, she sneaks on the boat, and they take her to Republic City. Shenanigans ensue.
So that goes off into the next part where...
Yes, the first thing they do upon reaching the island is...
Go batshit crazy over the city.
First they try and get food at a park where they almost get arrested because they can't
By the way, while she's riding this dog through the town, it's already creating chaos when she's not even trying.
Yep, they stop at a food stand, and she tries to acquire a whole bunch of food. Doesn't realize that you have to buy things.
No, she forgot money.
She doesn't have money.
Well, no, she doesn't have money.
The whole damn time.
Yeah, she's been getting everything she needed.
I mean, hey, who would have thought that the Avatar would have to pay for stuff?
Yeah. So after she gets food, well, kinda, she tries to get to Tenzin's home, which is on an island. Along the way, they run into the Mafia.
Yep. There's a store owner getting shaken up by some thugs from a bigger organization.
A triad.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she says, "What are you doing?" And they say, "It's none of your business, little girl." And she says, "I'm making it my business." And then she kicks their asses and destroys the kind of...
Destroys essentially, yeah.
Now, this is where it gets funny, because during this episode, this part of the episode, they start. Some of the bystanders start questioning why she's bending other different elements.
There's 2 people just sitting in a corner, hiding in a corner, and first she bends water, freezes a guy's head.
Okay, normal.
Okay, she's dressed like a waterbender. That's what you expect.
Yeah.
And then
she
suddenly,
starts bending
earth bending, and then they're looking. Did she just bend earth?
And then comes the
Fire. Is she a firebender too? Then click.
Is she the?
Oh my!
And the funny thing.
Wait, no, sorry. Let me fix that. We need Takei here for that. Oh my!
That might be a little tough to do.
Yeah, I can't do it. Harvey, can you give it a try?
Oh my!
There you go.
Yeah.
So the cops come and they break this all up.
Yes.
And Korra
the cops, to explain, the police force in Republic City was created by Toph, and she personally taught them all how to metal bend. And the chief, as we shall learn, is her daughter. Continue.
So, cops show up,
Cyborg.
says, hey, here are the bad guys. Arrest them.
Well, they do at least.
They arrest the bad guys. Then they say, you, look at all the shit you did. You're under arrest. And then she says, no, and runs from the cops.
Yeah, she runs for the cops, and we see some pretty cool stuff going on with the metal
More
benders.
chaos ensues.
Yeah, but we see some pretty cool metal bending stuff, like how they have wires across the city just for the metal benders to surf on.
During this whole scene, Harvey at my side starts saying, da 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 da, Spider-Man.
Yeah, you see them shooting these metal cords out of their wrists and swinging along like fucking Spider-Man. It was awesome.
Yeah. Republic City has an army of Spider-Man.
An inept army, but an army nonetheless.
Well, they're not that inept. They caught the Avatar.
Eventually.
They caught the Avatar.
Now,
Yes.
they captured her, they take her back to the station.
And she
whole
is...
whole police procedure.
And she's interrogated by the chief of police, Chief Beifong, Toph's daughter. And personally, I kind of think she's a bit of a bitch.
Now, see, that's your first impression. Later on, maybe
we'll learn more about her, but first impression, a bit of a bitch.
Now,
she threatens to lock up the Avatar. She pretty much insults Tenzin when he shows up to free her.
But you have to agree,
And she never once looks like she's even happy.
Metal Bender, Chief of Police, cold and rigid. Are you really that surprised by the character?
No, but this is Toph's daughter. Toph had her crazy side. I wanted to see a bit more crazy in there.
Yes, but Toph tended to be a lot more sarcastic and...
Which she was.
Yes,
she was.
She did it more of a fun way, though.
Yes.
This was not fun. This was kind of scary lady.
Well, you gotta also think, chief of police. You're interrogating. You have to be hard nosed.
All right. So after that, the episode simply winds down with Tenzin taking Korra back to his place, and after seeing
Press conference.
Well, after seeing how his kids want her to stay, simply agrees that she'll stay and he'll teach her airbending. And in press conference, Korra announces that she'll be in Republic City, and then the dark thing happens. We meet the leader of the Anti-Benders.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a mask.
Yeah, what was his name again? Something with an A?
Amon, I think?
Amon, yes.
Not
Amon.
to mention she walks...
The villain of this season, if maybe not the series itself.
She walks by a rally of a protest about non-benders trying to...
This was during the park scene. Sorry, we forgot to mention it.
And there's a rally going on about non-benders that are trying to do a movement against the elemental benders because they feel oppressed.
Yeah, and she really doesn't help things. If anything, she just riles the crowd up more.
Yep.
Because she threatens to knock the guy down with her bending and just...
On his suggestion, but
but still. And then she leaves with the stupid line of, "You're oppressing yourselves." She has a lot to learn.
Now, see, this is where it goes back to the whole, she's a doer, not a thinker.
Yeah.
Yes, and she is also new to the city and doesn't understand how this stuff all works.
But yeah, so the first episode ends with introductions to the main characters, a little clip showing us the villains, and just a showing of the setting. A good setup.
Mm-hmm.
What you need. Episode 2, A Leaf in the Wind.
Now, the title it just leads to something funny. I'm telling you.
It gets literal.
Now, I forget how this started now.
What, the episode?
Yeah. I believe, I want to say it's when they start training her, but I know that's wrong.
No, it's right.
Okay.
The episode begins with Korra beginning her airbending training.
Which is not going so well.
No, she seems to be having trouble with it. The exercise they use is A Leaf in the Wind, where Korra must make her way through a bunch of rotating panels
without touching,
touching them whatsoever, simply traveling as the air travels through them, like an airbender would.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't do so well. Twice she's spit out by it.
Not to mention banged up.
Yeah.
And I will say that it's reasons like that I am paranoid using the rotating doors. Those turnstiles freak me out when people go too fast.
Yes.
Now,
so she doesn't like how that's going, but she quickly becomes a fan of the Pro Bending League, which she reads stories about in papers and listens to it on the radio. Now, I'm sure this won't come as a surprise, but strict traditional Tenzin is not a fan.
he says it's a disgrace to bending.
Now, this is the person whose father once used earthbending to scratch his butt.
Yes, it is.
Okay? This is a person who abused bending so many ways.
For frivolous purposes and personal gain.
Or just for fun.
Not malicious, but...
Or just for fun.
Again, that goes back to the whole... If you remember the scene where him and Kasara start water fighting.
Katara!
Sorry.
Trust me, we don't need to keep on screwing up. We're going to get enough angry comments.
So they're getting nitpicky. Who cares?
Die-hard fans, Mark.
Mark,
fans.
yeah, you don't piss off the fans.
Moving along.
Yeah.
People make mistakes.
Yes, but you've been constantly making it.
I've already stated at the beginning of the show I was tired.
Okay. Anyway.
Forgive me.
Alright. Good. I'm glad we can give each other a hard time and still forgive each other. Right?
One day I'm gonna go berserk. But go on.
He looks like the guy that shot up the school. Anyway, so, of course, Tenzin's not a fan, but that's kind of funny considering who his dad was. Especially since, at one point, Aang did participate in a bending fighting competition when he was trying to learn more about Toph.
Again, but Tenzin doesn't know that part.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure they're childhood stories. Anyway, so continuing on, eventually Katara does what you'd expect a rebellious teenager to do. She goes to the fights.
But Katara's not a teenager anymore, Matt.
I mean, not... Okay, fine, touché. Korra does what a teenager would be expected to do and goes off to the fights.
Now you know how I feel.
Yes, well, at least I admit to it right away.
Yeah, she sneaks off to the fight, and she sees it, and she's instantly in love with the whole idea.
Yes.
Because it's right up her alley. At first glance, it looks like, just go and bend and fight.
Yeah, it seems simple enough.
No, there's a point system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Besides
she meets two new characters, which I believe are probably going to be important. The new Sokka...
The Ferret brothers.
And his brother... what was his brother's name?
I believe it was something with an H.
No, that was the guy that quit, Han.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, the waterbender of their group quit, which later on will explain how that has significance.
Well, for now, we'll call them what the show
We'll call
calls
them the Ferret brothers, the Earthbender, and the Firebender. The Firebender's the Jerk, and the Earthbender's the new Sokka.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Earthbender befriends Korra fairly quickly, and after the match, offers to give her some tips. Which is when she reveals that she's the Avatar.
In which case, even the Jerk Firebender starts to watch himself a little bit.
Yes, like his line is after she calls herself Waterbender, Earthbender, and Firebender, she's the Avatar, and I'm an idiot.
Quite an apt observation, actually.
Yes, he is. So, the Earthbender gives her some tips, and she picks it up fairly quickly. Kind of what you expect from Korra at this point, because of how physical she is.
Mm-hmm. It is good to note that her training so far has been all of the traditional stuff that they showed her within the confines training with these masters. But that's not at all modern style. It's totally different to this
It's the traditional style that you learn, but competitive, there's a bit more flexibility to it. Mm-hmm. No matter which style you use. So she learns a couple of tricks. Of course, this leads to her coming back the next day, where, as we said, the waterbender of the Fire Ferrets doesn't show up. So, she decides to join them.
And
Which, by the way, she promises to them, I will only do waterbending.
Yes.
We should also note that while this is going on in the downtime, she's doing her airbending training with simple meditation, which she's completely horrible at.
Yeah, she can't meditate whatsoever.
Do her not a thinker.
Yeah.
And she's
and of course, we forgot to mention the fact that she blew up the panels.
Yeah.
She gets frustrated while they're doing the training and literally blows them up.
So what do you do when something doesn't go your way? Kill it with fire!
Yes.
So she's told that these things don't come overnight. It doesn't click right away. It has to take time just to learn it, and then it'll just be natural for her.
Yes.
And right away it doesn't, so obviously she assumes that it's all bullcrap and doesn't listen to it anymore.
So she runs off back to the games. Now, while this is going on, Tenzin has a fun little conversation with his kids. And one of my favorite parts was he looks at his daughters and says, "Promise me your teenage years will not be like this." His daughter, simply reading a book,
The oldest one.
yes, looks up at him and just simply states, "I make no such promise," and goes back to her book. This is why the kids are going to be really fun characters.
Oh yeah.
They're given great lines and just have great interaction with the adults.
Just bursting with personality. It's pretty great.
So, continuing on, so she joins the team and she's not doing so well because of all the rules.
Ooh.
Yeah, like she throws a guy off the wrong side of the arena. She steps back while going on.
No steps forward.
No, steps back. She steps back into the second zone and she's pushed back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, all this is going on while back on the island, a group of the guards there are listening to the radio. And guess what's on the radio? The match. At the very moment when Korra uses earthbending.
After she's been passing herself off as just the
waterbender.
Now, Tenzin at this point is trying to look for Korra.
Yes. So he walks by, asks the guards, "Have you seen Korra?" And suddenly, on the radio, did that waterbender just use earthbending? And Tenzin's face.
Oh, the eye twitch was the best thing.
The eye twitch, and then it went red in pure anger.
A man mostly in control of his outbursts, given that he is a master airbender.
Yes, and we're pacifists.
Yes.
So he goes to the arena. And by that time, Korra has been allowed to stay on the team so long as she promises to only waterbend.
Mm-hmm.
They managed to tie it up at that point, so it's the final round. But when that happens, Korra still gets knocked to the water, where she sees Tenzin. They have their little spat, the usual about Tenzin being angry she's there, and Korra saying that she wants to be there, and that she feels that that's where she belongs, and maybe airbending is useless.
Mm-hmm.
So they go their separate ways at that point, both angry at each other.
Setting up the situation for them both to be proven wrong.
Yes.
As any good show should do.
Yes. So the final round starts, and Korra's still not doing that great. She gets pushed back to the edge, while the two Ferret brothers, Earthbender and Firebender, are pushed into a corner.
By one guy.
Yes, by the Waterbender of the other team. Who I do not think they name, actually.
Yeah, they were...
No, the Platypus Bears.
Yes. No, the Platypus Bears was the team that they faced earlier.
Tiger Armadillos were the...
Yeah, so Platypus Bears. But anyways, that's not important. They're throwaways.
Yeah.
We're just noticing that the first time they almost didn't name the team. Anyways, so... things are going bad. Looks like Korra's about to fall. The guys are in a corner. When suddenly... things click, and Korra begins to do Leaf in the Wind, and begins dodging the attacks gracefully. Tenzin sees this, is impressed even, and actually stays to watch the match.
Which, by the way,
and then the team makes a comeback. Like, Korra's kicking butt, and the other team gets tired, and they just knock them all out. At that point, Tenzin gives out a hearty Yahoo! Breaking character, just for a split second,
notices that he did it.
Adjusts
himself and walks away like nothing happened.
Now, if you guys don't know, we didn't explain this enough, but if you haven't noticed by now, Tenzin is very
strict, staunch traditionalist.
Straight laced.
Well, also he has to be proper because of his job.
Yeah,
he is the city councilor as well.
Yeah, he's essentially a politician, so he has to be kind of restrained, but also he's an airbending master, so he carries himself in a certain way. All these little important things.
Whoa.
Pardon, we're having technical dog difficulties right now.
Okay.
Down.
Anyways, continuing on. So they win the match. Korra goes back to the island. She and Tenzin have a heart-to-heart. Work things out.
And she's ready to continue training like he thought.
Yes. And then she mentions that she's permanently on the team and that they're going to do the finals. Which causes the eye twitch again. I'm going to say that when the series comes out on DVD, there should be a drinking game for every time you see that eye twitch.
Oh, that'd be harsh.
Well, I'm sure later on it will get better, but it's still fun. Just Tenzin. Tenzin's going to be fun to watch, just how he deals with Korra. And Korra's going to be fun to see how she actually learns her lessons. Like, chances are she's going to be learning these things in a very unconventional way.
Yes. A lot of things in the moment and hands-on, I'm sure.
Yes.
Now,
how the spiritual side will play in will be interesting. And
the fact that she does not like to meditate, she does not like to get in touch with her inner self. She's more of the, if I'm not doing anything, or if I'm not doing anything physical, count me out.
Yes. Which, so we've just explained the episodes. They're both good. They're both fun. If you haven't yet, and somehow you decide to listen to this, go check them out. We don't do them justice with our explanations.
Overall, it was a good series.
It's a good pilot.
It was a good two episodes.
Yes. So, predictions and stuff for the rest of the season, or stuff you're looking forward to seeing?
Well, for one, that Firebender and Korra will have. I sense some
blatant romance. Okay,
yeah.
We're just gonna say it. It looks like it's gonna be a blatant romance.
With a lot of tension first.
With cock block from Bo.
Yes.
I sense many moments of that.
Yeah, because to me it seems Earthbender dude is very much into Korra, and she's
not into him that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, like we say, he looks like he's going to be the Sokka of the group. Like, he's got that cocky kind of smile to him. Like, he's a bit of an idiot, but seems to still has good qualities to him.
He proudly wears his badge of Captain Friendzone.
Yes. Yes.
As for the main baddie, for now, Amon.
We have not seen much of him, but I'm sure they'll show up. And the anti-benders will be doing chi blocking, so that is going to be very interesting to watch.
Now, what I think with Amon, I know it's too early to guess who he is, but I have a feeling that there's something that because usually when you have a masked character, and he's usually either the bad guy or something, it's going to be some sort of surprise or shock. And if it has something to do with someone from the last series, that would make that would interest me.
That would, but at the same time, it might be just a whole new character, and for all we know, they might even go with the step that it might be a city councilor that works with Tenzin.
Again, we don't know yet because of the whole.
Speaking of connections to previous characters, that's something I'm looking forward to, is to see who else may have had kids, who ended up with who, like canon-wise, pairings, and just who had kids and how those kids are, or even grandkids.
Like the thieves gang from the last series, the Fire Nation. I forgot what their names were.
What?
The thieves, the ones that use the bandits, the kids. You don't remember?
No.
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 I'm fuzzy too.
No. I'm talking about the main characters, Mark. Okay, let's screw the side characters here.
Yeah, but they were shown enough.
Still, side characters, not important. Main characters, yes. See, even Winston agrees.
He's just upset because he's not part polar bear.
Yes, well, thank God for that, okay? If he was that size...
So, overall, it was two good episodes. Waiting to see more.
Yes. If you do decide to watch these episodes, be aware that your next chance to see a new episode will not be until at least April 17th or 19th. 19th, yes. 19th, 1 week after the official premiere.
Oh, when I'm leaving. Great.
Well, just find a computer in the Philippines. They do have those there.
They do.
I would hope.
We'll catch something online eventually.
Yes. Or you could just sit down sometime when you come back and watch a couple of episodes at once.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Overall, looks like a promising show. It looks like some of the arts has even improved even more from the original. And as always, they're putting good effort into it. The characters are nicely well-rounded. They're not just cardboard cutouts that you'd expect.
Yeah.
Interactions are really fun, and I expect a lot more stuff to be coming out of this, and expected to get a very large fan base.
Now, I'm not going to jinx this, but why do I think if it goes wrong and sour, you're going to be the first one to go, like, berserk?
I will not murder anyone if that's what you're thinking.
You gotta promise me not to go too headstrong with this.
I promise nothing.
Because
you see what I did there?
I think you're starting to scare our audience a bit.
If people are scared of how I behave, they don't have to agree to meet me in real life. Unless somebody here, of course, is listening to me that knows me in real life. Don't worry, I don't bite much.
Right. Anyways,
right.
that's it.
That's it for now. See you in the next part.
Have a fun break.